Hi, Captain Mike with you here again. Today we are going to demonstrate how to airbrush or spray a glass release agent on ceramic tiles. We will be using unique glass colors, glass separator, and we will be spraying it through a inexpensive Harbor Freight airbrush that I use for this. You can also experiment with a real small touch-up gun. These aren't expensive. I have not used one for this application, but if you had a large area to cover, or maybe a lot of smaller objects, it just has a larger reservoir. It's also going to have a larger pattern, and it's going to disperse more material. So it would be something you have to experiment with, because I have not done so. Later I will, but right now I just wanted to point that out. That is a possibility. We're going to use this old standby central pneumatic airbrush, $10 at Harbor Freight. We're going to do a brand spanking new texture tile, and I chose this one because it has a lot of high ridges, and we want to make sure that we can cover all of the areas properly with the glass separator. We're also going to do a slump mold that I had previously covered and fired, but there were some areas around the edges that I could still see the color. This was a plate that I bought at Goodwill and repurposed it, and I'm just going to do it because it's a different texture, it's a different type, and I want to put another coat or two on it. But it's those are the two that we will be doing today in prep, so that I won't have to do a whole lot of talking when I go to spraying. The glass separator, depending on your gun now, you can try this right out of the bottle in your airbrush. Might work perfect. That's what you'll have to experiment with. I take just regular tap water. This particular little reservoir holds 1 ounce of material. So I fill it up to somewhere around here, about where the little line is on this label, and then I take an eyedropper, and I fill it the rest of the way up, leaving just up to the neck here, leaving me some room to stir. That gives me, it takes maybe 2 eyedropper fulls, and that will give me 1 ounce, and then I stir it up with a stirring implement of your choice. And when I put it on the gun, I do an additional shake like that and shake it up really good. Now, in some of my other videos, if you've noticed this, I show some tips and tricks and things about your airbrush. You'll need to keep this cleaned out, keep the water handy after you have run the material through the airbrush. Blow a little water through it, clean it out, pay close attention to the tip here, that there's not too much buildup on it right here. And last but the very most important is get you a big straight pin. If I can pick this up without dropping it on the floor, and there is a very small hole in the top of this. Keep it clean. Put your brush through it. See, you can see that or not. Put your not your brush, your needle through it. Do this regularly. This stuff dries fast. It'll stop that hole up. When it stops that hole up, you're out of business. So you'll have to do that regularly. So that's really all you have to know. We're going to move this little operation outside now, and actually into another part of my shop where I have better ventilation, and we will get on with this. So you guys come with me, and let's go over to the other part of my shop. Okay? Okay, we're here in the shop that's got the end of it open, so I have a little ventilation. If this bumblebee flying around here bothers y'all, I apologize. Time to time you're going to get bumblebees, honeybees, maybe even a hummingbird or a cat making noises, but that's the way it is in my shop. So we're going to go ahead and try to do a little spray painting here for you. Now I'm going to paint these flat because my airbrush works great that way. I can see better. If you want to turn them up on end like this, so that they won't fall, but just put them on vertical, then you can spray them that way if that suits you. It's not a problem. Okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to spray this one, and I will try to get us up just a little bit more. Try to turn it where you can see. Okay? There you go. That looks a whole lot more better. All right, I hope the compressor doesn't come on, and we're going to spray this. Now, this little bottle right here probably will give me 2 coats. Unique Glass Colors recommends you brush 3 coats, and whenever I brush it, I use my all-purpose glaze brush. This just happens to be a Mako number BB110. Use whatever you want. It just does good. You can put 3 coats, varying the distance, however you want to do it. But we're going to use this. We're probably going to put 4 or 5 coats on. I found that 3 coats don't get it with the airbrush. 4 coats is marginal. Depends on your airbrush. Your mileage may vary. So let's see if we got enough. Yeah, we got enough coming out there to do that. Let's see if we can't do it. If I have issues, I'll just pause this camera, and we will fix the issue and carry on. And I'm getting a little splatter here, but that's not going to matter. Now, what you need to do is let it dry between coats. We slide that one out of the way, pull this one in here, and we'll go on it. Now, my primary concern on this one is around these edges. Okay, that's where it seems to be lacking. Now, I've already fired a piece of glass in this one time, and you know, even though with later examination, I determined that it didn't have maybe enough glass separator on the edges, it still worked great. Didn't stick. Now this is, we're going to go ahead and put some more on this. It's pretty hot here today. It's humid and stuff is drying a little slower, but we're going to go ahead and put another coat on this, and then I'll probably have to pause this camera to let this stuff dry and come back and finish up this video. Could probably find something to run my mouth about, but let's see, here we go. We're out. We got 2 coats on this, 1 coat on that, and she's out. That's the only drawback from this gun right here, is this is too small. I'm already trying to engineer something that will hold more, but right now I'm not there. But when I get there, I'll let you know. So let's let this dry, and I'll be right back with you in a minute. Okay, I'm back with you again, and while I was waiting for this to dry, I fell back on my old trick, using the heat gun to speed up things. So there you go, it's ready for another coat. And of course, while I was waiting, I went ahead and mixed up some more glass separator, cleaned my little hole out here, and purged my gun. Remember to do that every time. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to put the next coat on. I've already turned the tile around, so we're going to go ahead and put it on. You want to make sure you get everything. You don't want to forget and miss, or get in a hurry and miss something, because if you do, the glass will stick to it, and we don't want that. Okay? Alright, put another little coat on this right quick, especially around the edges, what I'm after. Okay, that's got that. And move this one right back in line here. Now, some of y'all are going to notice I'm spraying on this table here and I'm getting a mess around it. This is water soluble. So when you get back and ready to clean things up, water takes it right off. I'm just going to put a little bit of this around the edge here on this. Maybe in camera, maybe off camera, I'm not real sure. It's not important at this particular point in time because I'm almost out of glass separator. And we're going to mix some more up again and let this dry. All right, y'all bear with me. Okay, through the magic of editing and the use of a Ryobi heat gun, I'm back here with you again. And our gun is working fine. We're going to put the 4th coat on this. And I'll decide later whether I want more. 4 looks like it's doing pretty good. This gun is putting out a nice dispersion today. And so we're going to put the 4th coat on this and go around my little round one again. I'll share a couple of tips with you. And we may do something else. Y'all just hang on. That's the good thing about an airbrush, except for the occasional splatter like you saw just then hit this plate. It can be held in almost any angle, and if you had a good gun or you tightened this one up really good so it didn't splatter, then you can spray in almost, holding the brush at almost any angle whatsoever. Okay, so we're just about out here. We're going to go ahead and get these edges, and that's it. There's not much more left in here. It hurts to put it on here. I don't want to leave it in the gun. I'll have to clean the gun up. Okay, so here we are. We have 4+ coats on these pieces, and it looks like a successful application. So now I'm going to go back over the boring stuff with you again. Always, when you get through with your airbrush, regardless of the model, clean it out. Just clean it out like that. Pay attention to the tip right here. And then, of course, your needle. This is the most important part. If you do not clean that little hole out right there, can you see it? Okay, well, clean the little hole out, then you're in trouble. Here's a little tip for you. Put your pen in that right there, and you won't have something like that. Put it aside. You won't have to chase it all over the place. Okay, when your gun's clean, then of course you'll go to the sink and you'll clean out this right here, and put everything up. Mentioned before, if you want to use a brush, get you a good quality glazing brush or something that has good bristles on it, and paint it just like that. This is what Unique Glass Colors recommends, although they tell you that you can airbrush it too. Now, once this is done, you'll put these pieces in a kiln and you will fire them up to 800 degrees. And that just drives any moisture that has been put into these ceramic molds through the process of applying the product, and it will turn gray. And once it turns gray, well, you 800 degrees, let it cool, you'll see it is gray, and then it's ready to fire. When you put it in the kiln and fire it with your glass on it, it's going to turn bisque white. Just like this right here. This piece has glass separator applied to it, and it will turn this bisque white. And if one other word of caution, and now this was a virgin piece. This piece here actually was a virgin piece too. It had never had any other kind of a glass separator on it. If you have removed, you watched one of my videos and you have tried to remove ZYP, which is a great product in its own right, or any type of a boron nitride product, make doggone good and sure you got it off. It will come off, but you're going to scrub some more, and when you think you got it all, you're going to scrub again, because it will, a little bit is left anywhere along these lines, the glass is going to grab the glass separator and it's going to pull the glass separator off. And that's because there's a little bit of another material, regardless of what it is. Because Unique says that you can't have any other type of coating between their glass separator and the ceramic mold. So go to their site, read everything they have to tell you. If you have questions, ask their tech support people, great tech support people. They will help you out. So you want to do that, and pretty much that's it, except I'll tell you about this product right here, and this is called Free, and it's a companion product for the glass separator. And all this is a powder, and you will put it in a sock. I actually use a knee-high, but you can put it in a white sock or whatever and daub it. You just drop it and just back and forth like that. Then I have a lady's makeup brush, and I just kind of twirl it around and get it evenly distributed. So far, that has worked great for me. This product simply extends the life of the glass separating product. That's what it does. It helps the glass move around, especially on a mold like this. Put it on your slumping molds, but these molds like this are less likely to grab the glass. The glass just slumps down in it. So use it on it, but if you forgot it, it's probably not a really big deal. Things like this, you definitely want to use it because that glass is going to pull, it's going to creep, it's going to pop places if it grabs. So remember that, okay? Now, any of you guys that know me know I can't leave well enough alone. And I mentioned the spray gun. I've got a pile of molds out here that I'm fixing to apply, and in some cases reapply the glass separator. And I am going to try to use that little touch-up spray gun. So you guys bear with me long enough for me to get all my stuff in order, and we'll be right back, and we're going to see how that works, just kind of as a bonus. Stand by. Okay, y'all. I'll remember that you've seen it here first. I have no idea what's fixing to happen here, but I have my air gun, my touch-up gun. I mixed up some glass separator and in a glass because I can't see in my cup, obviously, and I'm experimenting here. So I put about that much glass separator in this little glass, and I added water to here and stirred it up really good. And I haven't run this through a paint sieve yet or anything. It's just going to go in this gun. We're going to put top on it, and we're going to see what happens. I haven't adjusted this gun for spray pattern or anything, and that's half a cup. And I've never even used this gun before, so let's see what happens. And we'll adjust the old gun down here. Okay. Putting an awful thin coat on, but that's fine. I'll just get a little closer. I may have to adjust the air pressure. This gun is not designed to do this, but it is doing it. And if I really wanted to, to prove this out, I would do some adjusting on the gun, but we're not going to do that. I don't want this video to go this long. I am surprised about the amount of material. I was afraid that it would put it on at such a high rate that it would want to puddle and that it would be excessive. It's not. Actually, it's working quite well. I'll have to see how much of the material I have sprayed out once I get these done. And we're not going to do a total coating on this. I'm just going to show you that it can be done, okay? And then we are going to go from there and wind this video up. But yeah, I'm really pleased that you can put it on with this gun because you can put a lot more material. I'm going to put this second coat on this one right here. It dried almost instantly. But yet was wet enough for me to see that it was doing what it was supposed to do. Okay, now let's check the gun and see how much material we've used on that. Wow, not much. This may be the way to go. I will do some experimenting, and we will see if, you know, this is not an improvement over the air gun. These guns are cheap. 20, 25 bucks at Harbor Freight, a filter, and a regulator if you don't already have one on your computer, listen to me, your compressor. And wow, it puts it on. Not quite as controllable as the airbrush, but on the other hand, it's putting out a good pattern, and I'm 100% positive this is, the volume is adjustable, as is the pattern. And this just may very well be the way I do it in the future, because I have so many molds. Okay, folks, that's it. That's my tutorial. Remember to clean your equipment. Remember to cook this stuff to 800 degrees. Remember to go to Unique Glass Colors website and check it out. And I hope this works out great for you, and you do a lot of really wonderful glass molding and slumping and stuff. Okay, I'm Captain Mike. That's my video, and I'm out of here.